a great leader. He said that I used to go with my father, and uh, what great thing happened there is that everybody sits in a circle, and my father was the last one to speak. So his father was an awesome listener. So ultimately, Nelson Mandela was also a great listener, and that way he became a great leader. So yes, my focus on that videos was leadership, and I swear to God that I have never thought about aiming at C-suite earlier in my life, because I thought I would be hovering in the middle management career. But I'm strongly looking forward. I'm doing right networking, right collaboration, and talking with right people about plans. Not my individual plans, but plans about adding value to the organization, so people can hear me clearly, and I leave a great message. So that's it. And yes, I did my homework for the last session, and I was strongly looking forward to that. I spared myself from the family time, and um, yes, looking forward strongly.
Awesome.
Ahmad, over to you.
Yes, thank you, Mohit. So what we hear, particularly in Asian countries and South Asia, is leaders are born. That's, I mean, allow me to say that's an old rubbish of those people who are not actually leaders, and they really want to hold the fort, and they don't want others to grow. So anybody who thinks that he is or she is not a born leader will never reach to that level, which is a misconception. So I think Shahjahan is also joining in from Lisbon. Um, so that's a great story. Mohit, you're mute if you are saying something. So the thing is, all these skills are. Mohit, you're on mute if you want. If you're saying something, I didn't hear you. So,
Can I add something?
sure, please go ahead.
Sure. If you remember, I mean, did you, can you recall my speaking speed in the last session and now?
It's
I'm a bit
improving.
peaceful now.
Yeah, there's
I'm
a
a,
couple of things. You have got your
I'm
camera.
practicing.
Your camera is on. That's the thing. And you're like talking to me face to face, eye to eye. And these are like very basic things that we miss out when we are looking at the possibility of becoming a leader or going to C-suite. This gives you confidence. If you keep practicing, it gives you confidence. How public speakers become public speakers? They're not born public speakers. They get the opportunity, or they find the opportunity and they practice and learn and become public speakers. So what you are
So
getting
yes,
is an opportunity every week to talk to a group of people, and that is giving you the confidence.
yeah, I'm just practicing what I am learning, and today I aimed at uh, being peaceful.
Yeah, you're you're very you're very consistent, number one, and consistency really pays us in the long run. And people usually do not. So if you have seen in this group today, somehow there's a smaller group, but usually 8 or 9 people or 10 people, 2 or 3 people are those who are consistently appearing in these or attending the sessions. And 293 people registered, so, and from all over the world. So they are missing out an opportunity. What we are doing, Shahjahan and I have thought, is that maybe some people don't have time, or some people may not realize how interesting this whole sessions would be. So the recording sessions will now be available on YouTube for people to watch. So this is again, when you're thinking ahead, when you're thinking in a broad term, you will try to bring people with you. And that's again a leadership skill. Some people are not really appreciating it. They may not really understanding the importance of it. What else can we do? So we had these recorded videos, and now we have Jawad working with us. Jawad is an engineer from NED, and he's actually managing Shahjahan's account at the moment. And he is working with me as an intern, as a partner, to take this whole initiative to the next level. So we have got a YouTube channel set up this week. The videos will go up hopefully over the weekend, and those videos will be available not only for this group. So if you want to recall things, you can always go back and watch those videos, as well as for those people you want to bring into the loop. So you share those videos with people who are interested, right? And that's how the tribe will grow. And this is what the aim is. So let's grow the tribe. Let's help maybe 2, 3, 5, 10 people, whoever would like to join in and be part of this whole thing to move to the next level. So over to you. Please introduce yourself, where are you joining in from, and were you there in the last session? I don't remember that. But anyways, introduce yourself and tell us what you did last week.
Hello. Yes, this is my second time attending this career fellowship. I was there, I think, in the second session.
Right.
And
You are in the
so
technology space, right?
I'm in the what?
You work in the technology space, if I recall. I'm trying
Yes,
to,
yes,
yeah, okay.
yes.
Now I got it. Okay, good. And you work with a US company.
Yes, I did. I did.
Yes, go
Yes.
ahead. Tell us what you did. So you were not there in the last week. So what you did in the last 2 weeks then?
Well, I graduated.
All right,
That,
congratulations.
yes, I graduated. So, and yes, so I'm taking some time off. I'm going to stay at home for a couple of months, you
Mhm.
know, rethink and reassess everything, and then start applying for jobs again later in a couple of months. So, and this fellowship, I believe, once every week or once in 2 week session is going to be, you know, great. So, yeah, that's it.
Great. So congratulations, number one. Number two is come every week and bring more people in. Because when you bring in more people, you become a
Mm-hmm.
facilitator, right? You become a beacon for them. Okay. So,
Mm-hmm.
and they would start. So if they enjoy these sessions, they would start looking at you as somebody that should really be consulting with. Okay. So this is an interesting game. This whole leadership thing is very interesting. And we all, once we become leaders in whatever space, we keep growing, because then there will be more people and we'll get more opportunities to experiment. We'll get more opportunities to work with more people, to learn from them. Um, so I'll share two stories today. And I absolutely do not prepare for these sessions, believe me, because I like to be extempore. I like to be sharing exactly who I am and what I did in my life, and this is what you can also practice with. So, and when people talk, of course, with my experience and exposure, I recall these stories and I share those stories with you. So, story number one is so I don't remember which US president went to NASA, their space agency. And he went to NASA, and in the corridor, he met a janitor, somebody who cleans toilet. And so he shook hand with the janitor and said, what do you do? He did not know that this guy is the janitor. And this janitor said, my job is to send men to the moon. Now, if we hear it from our office boy that my job is to run this organization. Now, first of all, I'm absolutely sure that office boys in many other countries would never even think of that. But if you work in an office, your office boy is perhaps the most important person that you need every day in the office. Okay. Now that office boy is a leader. We never treat that, and he doesn't treat himself as a leader, right? We never treat that person as a leader. So now look at that. This janitor is claiming that his job is to send men to the moon. A true leadership thought process, because if he doesn't clean those toilets, all those scientists won't be able to use those toilets, and then they will be suffering and they will be struggling to find some other toilets somewhere out there. So the mission of the NASA's mission was his mission. Okay. So whenever you work in an organization or you're building your own vision of the process, we should really think big. When we think big, we will plan to achieve it. If okay, there will be small milestone in between, but think big. That's one message. Now, Hassan, another interesting story is my personal story. So my younger brother, who is a biotechnologist, by the way, he did his master's in microbiology. He was a position holder from University of Karachi. I think it was third position holder. Anyways, and we were okay, like it's like talking like 20 years, 20, 25 years ago, 26 years ago. So he graduated. He came back home, and he was very happy that he graduated. All the stars and everything. And I'm the eldest in the family, by the way. So we sat, and at that time I was working with British Consulate's office as a trade promotion director. So we sat down, and the way families sit down, and I said, what's the plan now? So his name is Daniel. And he said, yeah, worked hard for so many years now, university and studies. I'll take a month's break, and then I'll start looking for jobs. I said, okay, our father passed away in 92. So I said, do you think we can afford that? You cannot afford to waste even a single day in your life. So if you think that you're sitting back and unwinding yourself, you're actually not unwinding yourself, because those people, who start looking for jobs from tomorrow will be ahead in the game. So my humble advice to you is, do not wait. Just plan something and do something, and that will taking a step forward will always take you forward. This is always I say. So he said, at least I can take one day off. Yes, tomorrow you take a day off, but day after tomorrow you are looking for jobs. So we started talking to people. So some of his friends started working after BSc, and he did his MSc. So he contacted one of his friend who was working at ATCO Laboratories, so he said, there might be some jobs. So he applied. He was interviewed and he got the job as a sales representative, medical sales representative, and that's how he started his career in literally 1 week of his graduation. So and he was ahead in the game, because some of them were still like thinking and unwinding themselves, and he was on job. So everyone has different situations, but I could come up with this great story that I have from 25 years ago, that I actually pushed my brother to get out in the field and do the job straight away as soon as you graduated. In the West, people start working before even graduating. Now, there is another interesting thing, because it's a small group. Let's keep it. I keep it informal, anyways. I've got some things to share with you, and the benefit will be to three people who are with me today. And of course, the benefit of one-on-one conversation is very different from listening to someone on YouTube. So, so my younger daughter is now 17, and she's in our high school. So she's graduating 12th grade this year or next year. Now, in this part of the world, young people work. So at the age of 16, you can work, and the work is what we call menial jobs, right? You work at McDonald's or Subways or Tim Hortons, and do cleaning, and you do all sorts of other things. And now these girls, because I was doing very well in Pakistan, alhamdulillah, we had traveled in the car, and they would be dropped off and picked up from school and all that. In Pakistan, or in most of South Asia, young people at that age do not even think of working if they don't have to. But when we come here, okay, it was COVID and everything, but this year she started working, and she started working at McDonald's. The McDonald's job is the toughest job you can do at that age, because in a McDonald's at a space well, all the McDonald's across the globe are usually at an intersection. And intersection means you've got cars coming in very frequently, and people are hungry and they want to grab something, eat, and go. So the drive-throughs, and they usually serve 100 to 200 meals in an hour. So you can think of the speed they would require to prepare those meals, clean, and keep everything tidy, and keep running the whole show. And this one where she works is a 24 hours McDonald's. Now, first 2 weeks for her were extremely challenging because she never worked in her life. She never needed to. Now she was doing all the cleaning toilets, mopping floors, doing French fries, and dealing with difficult customers, or only listening to, because she was not doing the front end. And every time when she comes back, I would ask her, "What did you learn today?" And she would tell me the story. So she did not know what she learned, but she would tell me a story. So one day she was very upset because she's kind of graduated. I mean, McDonald's is a great institution. They coach you on so many things without telling you that they're coaching you. So they will move you from one place to another place, or one department to another department, and you keep learning. Anyways, so one day she was very upset because at that time she was already doing cash till. So she's learned to run the till and do the cash and customer service. And she said one person came in and was very rude with me, and I'm only a 17-year-old young girl, and he's said this and that. Do you think he was rude to you? Yes, because I was at the till. I said, no, he was not rude to you. He was rude to McDonald's. If he was complaining about food, he was not complaining the food that you cooked. It was McDonald's food. It was McDonald's mistake. It was not your mistake. And you are representing a brand. And that was her learning. Now, from that day on, she started enjoying all those people who come and who complain and shout. Because now she knows that they're not shouting at me. They're shouting at another 50 people who are working in McDonald's. They're shouting at McDonald's. Now, another thing what there's so many things that she keep telling me, and I keep asking her. And she said, it was very busy, and I was really, up to my neck, and I got so tired, and I started making mistakes. And this girl who was doing something else, she came and said, "Are you okay?" I said, "I'm so tired, and it's because it was, I think, probably Sunday evening or something. It was very busy." I said, "No worries. You go to the washroom and have a glass of Coke or something. Come back in 5 minutes. Let me handle it." No, and she was so grateful to her that she was so nice to me, and I took a break 5 minutes. I went to the toilet, peed, and had a glass of Coke, and I re-energized myself, came back. I said, "What did you learn from this?" So she was so nice to me. I said, "No, this is called teamwork." Nobody told her to come and help you, but she saw that there is a team member who is suffering. And she came and she relieved you for 5 minutes. You came back and you were back in the same speed. And this is what we call teamwork. And this is what we call Muisa leadership. Yeah. So she saw something and she managed it. Throughout our lives, we keep learning things we don't appreciate. Okay. Let's start appreciating those things. Let's start learning from all those things that we do on a regular basis, because ultimately those who will learn and implement will grow, and those who will listen only or hear, I would say, and forget about those things will never grow. So yeah, so keep learning and keep doing. So today, of course, these stories will continue, and I can keep talking about millions of things that I did throughout my career and learn from. What I recommended last time, Hussein, is to watch a TED video, and I said preferably watch Simon Sinek's video and learn from those videos. You know, just note down what you learned, and you know that will help you think through. And this is exactly what Moeed just told us, that he completely changed the way he looked at leadership, and now he knows that leadership is a trait or a skill that can be learned. It is, people are not born as leaders. They get the opportunity, they get the environment, and they grow. So let's use that as an opportunity. What I Yes, yes.
Which TED talk are you recommending, Simon?
So TED Talk is just one platform where you can listen to many people, but
Oh
on
yes, I listen to a lot of TED
right.
talks.
Okay, but you know the idea, the way you should is to have a notebook with you and just note down those points, because if we note down those points, we will be able to reflect upon those points. So what I suggested last time is TED Talks is one thing. The other thing is listen to Simon Sinek. And believe
Can
me,
you spell the last name? Can you please spell the last name?
we'll share in the chat box. So I mean,
Okay,
I can show you this book. So I really love him. I mean, in fact, you can look at Simon Sinek. Okay. Leaders Eat Last. So this is the book that I actually bought, but I didn't get time to read. I only read like about 10% of the book. But you know, people who think from a different perspective are the people we should listen to. People who talk about only about their success and their achievements, that's good to listen to. I mean, if you get inspired and if you can implement those things, that's fine. But the thing is, whether those speeches or those talks are to promote themselves or to help someone learn. So one has to, I mean, there's a thin line in between. So listen to Simon Sinek, and today, I mean, this week's suggestion is, there is a speech by Simon Sinek or a presentation by Simon Sinek which talks about uh, golden circle. Golden circle. So if you Google it, golden circle by Simon Sinek, you will get that. And that golden circle will help you think or learn how people think and what is the best way to understand as to how people think. Probably Mohit was smiling, probably you have already seen it. But that is such a transformational approach to your thinking process. Okay, what should be your first, and then comes
Why?
Why? No, why should be first?
Why should be? Yeah.
What? Why? What? How? So you know, yeah. Why? What? Why? How? Whatever. Like I can't recall it at the moment. But why is very important. I always think of why as number one. So, and I used to think, but when I watched that video, I use that video in a lot of my coaching programs. It's such an inspirational, transformational way of thinking. But think of why. Why are you here? So these three people are here. Jawad is here because Jawad is working with me, and then he's so inspired that he wanted to be an intern with me. Now we have three people who applied for this internship, and Jawad was one of those. And I went back and I said, you know, I asked them a question as to why do you want to be with me? You know, what is your purpose? And some of the Jawad actually wrote a very detailed response, very thought-provoking response. One person wrote three-liner. I mean, that's fine. You know, he wrote it casually. The other person never even ever responded. So we picked Jawad, and Jawad is busy because just got a job at PTCL. He's working, and he's at a place where the internet is not good. But since his joining for the last 1 week, he has done everything beyond expectation. So if you keep doing things beyond expectation, you will keep gaining more. As simple as that. So if you're saving something, if you are saving 100 rupees or $100, And you say, no, I want to save $105. That $105 is an addition of 5% into your saving. As simple as that. So that's exactly what Jawad did. Mohit has been with us throughout. This is his fourth session. He's very, determined. And allow me to share Mohit. So he sent me a message on LinkedIn. Sometime and we connected there also. And he asked something. I said, I see myself in you. When I was probably younger than him. Exactly this. So if I'm committed, I'm committed. Period. Then whether it's night or day or whatever, I'm committed. And Hussein, you are here for the second time, and let's keep continue that. So, and this will only help you, help other people too. So, what I wanted to say today is actually I want to talk about personal branding, because personal branding is really, really important, and there are many aspects of personal branding. I hope a few people will watch this YouTube at YouTube and learn from it. So very unconventional way of looking at personal branding. You can read a lot of blogs, stuff, and there's too much on personal branding, millions of pages that can help you learn personal branding. The basics are just two. If we could build our credibility and trust, we are branding ourselves. As simple as that. Credibility and trust brings in the brand. So if you think of yellow label tea, for instance, which is a very popular tea, or from Pakistan's perspective, the other one, the Tapal, maybe. So you're thinking of those brands as it's good quality tea. You can always trust. Every time you buy a pack, it will be the same taste or maybe enhanced taste. The quality is good, and the value is there because the price is good. And this is the trust that you have. If you buy, so for instance, all South Asians particularly, we love Toyota or Honda as cars. Even here, we have in Canada, of course, there are many other variants of brands, and but South Asians would love Toyota or Honda. They would like, although if they buy a Honda would probably give them more features in their car at the same price, but they would still go for a Toyota or Honda, preferably. And the reason is the reliability, the trust, and the credibility they've gained with the brand. So if you want, and three of you, Jawad, Mohit, and Hassan, and whoever watches it later on, my question to you is, how would you build that trust and credibility? And I will now stop, and I would like to pick maybe Jawad. If you can share your thoughts. If you want to build your trust and credibility, what are few things you should be doing?
So I think that being honest to others could develop this thing, and the act of kindness is really necessary for the personal branding, which enables others to trust on you. So honesty and act of kindness, these two things could really help us.
Great insights, and we'll talk about these. Yes, Susan.
So I think inconsistency, integrity, and making your audience feel good, or making them satisfied, like they got what they came for, right? For example, I have a blog, or I have a product, and that product is making people happy, like they use it and they feel like, oh wow, oh this is really good, I want this again. So that is my idea of it.
All right, cool. Yes, Mohit.
I am a part-time entrepreneur as well, and I'm a hybrid individual. I'm a sole proprietor as well. I sell cars. I buy and sell used cars. So I think winning the trust or building the trust doesn't have a set parameters. It's a long journey, and it's a different flavor. Like you are continuously mentioning the case of South Asian customers, that they are stick to Honda and Toyota. they have built that trust over decades, not years, decades in Pakistan market and South Asian market. So I'm learning how to build trust, and what I can share the learning of my brand, which is Jin Wheels, JIN Wheels. Uh, People who have bought cars from me or my brand, they look back because whatever we have declared that this car has these problems and we have fixed these problems and it will create such problem in future. We are expecting it. They are, I mean, they trust us so much that they come back to us and they refer back and they refer us to other friends and family members that these guys or this brand is very honest. Whatever we are telling, it it would be there. There is no margin of deceiving. There is no margin of any kind of fraud. So my what people in my opinion look upon to the brands is reliability and consistency in the quality. There are two features which I have learned yet till date that they play an important role in building the trust. And I was laughing continuously during the journey you shared of your daughter because I served Pizza Hut UK between 2011 and 2014. So it's a completely focused journey. The performance of the life cycle of the employee in Pizza Hut, McDonald's, they revolve around balanced scorecard, BCG matrix. So when they enter, they know what they will do, and they can forecast. They can tell what they will be doing Tuesday in the next week, how much product they have to prepare, how much labor they have to prepare, and the best and the challenging part is the unforeseen circumstances. The weekend is unpredictable in West. I used to work near Wembley football stadium.
Right. Okay.
We predicted, yeah, we predicted. I mean, I and my manager, we predicted the sales on the basis of that football match, and we predicted the sales on the basis of emotional sentiments from the Arab countries because people in our locality were mostly Arabs. Paddington and Westbourne Park, these are the areas where a lot of Arab people live. So the leadership qualities, the leadership skills I have seen in my line manager, and he tried to build in me were flawless. I have never seen such a free hand and such a consistent example of teaching, one-to-one teaching. Uh, that Abdul, you have to do this. You have the liberty. You have my back. You have my power. These are wonderful words. These are powerful words. I mean, he gave me liberty within the parameters the company had allowed. So yeah, your daughter would be on the career growth, and I would suggest that she stays in this industry. I had quit the hospitality industry in 2014, and I joined academia, and I'm still in academia. I cannot think of changing my industry now because it took me a lot of hard work and a lot of difficult times. And I think that I'm going on a right track now, and I see myself growing in coming times by learning different skills, by meeting different people and learning from their journey. So Ahmad, I would be in touch with you, whatever if this fellowship ends, whenever
It will
I
never
would
end,
be
by
in
the way.
touch.
I have no plans to
And,
end the fellowship program. As long as
right,
this key groups keep coming together, I'll keep it up because see, ultimately, if I could change one person's life in my whole life, I've achieved my goal. That's how I think. And money is important, but money is so probably you have seen, Hosam, I'm sure we are not boring you, but I'm going to come to the point that I want to share with you. Yesterday, I had 4 prospects calls. I mean, I do LinkedIn profile optimization and coaching. I've got okay. So thank you. I've got a live. I mean, the online course up at Air School this week. So I do a lot of things, and I'll be 57 December. in December. I'm reinventing myself. Throughout my career, I worked at very senior positions, corporate level, traveling with Islamabad, always staying at Serena business, thing, and with the chauffeur car. All that, I enjoyed that. Now I'm enjoying the entrepreneurial aspect of my life because I always wanted to be an entrepreneur, really. And it's sometimes is very motivating, sometimes it's not motivating, because when you have clients coming in and they're paying you, you're motivated. Sometimes when clients don't come to you, that's the only source of income you have. And all that, remember these two words that we spoke about, Mohit, your desire and your faith. So I've built my whole life so far on this desire and faith. So my desire is to keep working in this. So the only thing I want to be is coach. I really want to coach people. That's it. And whatever medium will I get, I will just use that medium. Okay, I'm not very good at times in front of, like, when somebody's. I'm very good in talking to people like this, the way I'm doing it. But if I'm reading from a script, I'm awful. And so, I mean, it took me 2 months to record this 2 hours course, which should not be more than a week, because I was fumbling a lot. Now, so the fellowship is not going anywhere. Even those people who become my clients, they become my friends at the end of the day. So here, this is one that the post that I did last night. So there was this guy from Nepal. He reached out to me, and I've traveled in Nepal a lot for work, so I know the country pretty well. I know the food, I know the culture. Anyways, so he reached out to me and he said he wants to buy my service, LinkedIn profile optimization service, for which I charge $500 US. And if somebody is in my group coaching, that's $200 US, so $700 US. And he booked a call with me on Zoom. He was on Zoom with me for half an hour, and I said, why do you need LinkedIn profile optimization? That he was an engineer, by the way. He was an electrical engineer who was teaching somewhere, and he wants to come to Canada. And I said, I mean, okay, that's fine, but what is your objective? So he was looking for a job offer from Canada. I said, think about it. There's so many electrical engineers in Canada. There are immigrants who are coming in. They have the work authorization. All the immigrants will have work authorization. Why would a Canadian company hire somebody from Nepal? And that hiring process takes long. And I gave him the whole thing. And I said, I could easily take $500 from you and could give you a false hope. But believe me, you will be wasting your money. So I spent half an hour coaching him not to give me any money. Think about it. And I wrote this post. So if you go and review the post, probably you will find some. You can also do that. Now the thing is that I could have believe me, he would just give me the money, and I would do the profile. The profile would still work, but he would not get the call from a recruiter in Canada, because I know nobody's going to hire him. So I lost $500, right? But I gained trust of one person, and then I shared that story, and I probably gained trust of another 500 people who read the story. So young people, personal branding is a very interesting thing. So what I did, I branded myself as somebody who's honest. And I was not lying. I mean, I just shared the real story, that what had happened. I could have taken, but I did not. And exactly what you are also doing by telling people, okay, this is a product, but it has these features, but there are some issues also with the product or a car. So this is how you're building your trust and your credibility. The best way to build your trust. So whatever you said, honesty, kindness, consistency, integrity, and everything. So there are two types of things in life. One is tangible things and one is intangible things. All these words are intangible, right? When something is intangible, you can only assume. Now, how much integrity you have Can you give me an example? You cannot really do 0 to 10, scale of 0 to 10. I have integrity up to 5, or I have integrity up to 10. On a scale, you cannot measure. So you cannot measure integrity. You cannot measure honesty. You cannot measure love. I mean, you cannot measure kindness. Somebody said it once. I was listening to someone say, no, can you actually tell your wife that you love her on the scale for 1 to 10 up to 7 or 8? You can't. And you cannot expect that from her too. So these are the things that are intangible, and you cannot measure these things on a scale. Now, when you cannot measure anything on a scale, how would you build trust? That's my question. So last 10 minutes, I'm going to share, or maybe 5 minutes, I'm going to share some ideas. And you can implement those ideas, start implementing those ideas right from today, if you want. People trust you when they see you, which means when they experience you. So we talked about cars, Mohi. You drive a Toyota Corolla, or you drive a Honda Civic, and you drive a bigger car, Pajero, or whatever the variants would be. When you drive, then only you can experience the stability on the road, the speed that you can take, turn and everything, inside comfort, drive comfort. When you do it, then only you will experience. Otherwise, you have an assumption. Intangible things give you an assumption. Everybody has certain assumptions in their mind, and they can figure out it could be right or wrong. The best way to build your personal brand is by sharing your knowledge with people. So what I want you is to, in next 1 week, write your first ebook. Write your first ebook. Okay. How would you do that? I'm giving you an idea. And take that idea and literally in couple of hours, you can write an ebook. Jawad, what your specialization? What are you doing in? What is your training? Tell me something about it.
So this training is covering overall aspects of the PTCL organization, that how finance department work, how HR department works, how the technical department works. So they are telling us about all the departments of the
Okay.
Organization.
Okay, but anything technical also in this? Anything technical, like, you're talking about internet system that they have, or something on those lines? No? Can't hear you. You can write in the chat box. Okay, so what, because he's in Haripur, and the signals are weak there. So you can write in chat box, Jawad. But what, so for Jawad is in an organization that is telecommunication organization. If he could write an ebook, 5-6 pages with 5-6 headlines, under each headline 5 bullet points, to share his experience or his knowledge with people, how to select an internet service provider. I mean, you can talk about, or what type of internet services are available. It could be VPNs, it could be anything. I mean, I'm not a technical person. And he writes a very basic book on a Word document. And that basic book, it talks about few basic things. Under each title, 4 or 5 or 6 or whatever bullet points he could share, and convert that into an ebook using a very easy tool called Canva. Have you used Canva before? So on Canva, you can create an ebook, design it nicely, have your social media there. Yes, I am sure everybody has used Canva. So you have the resource, which is your knowledge. You have Canva, you have used Canva. just combine these two things, write your first ebook. And once you have written your first ebook, post it on your social media. So add this ebook on your Facebook, on LinkedIn, and tell people what this ebook is all about. And learn from this ebook, download it. Mohit, for you, how to buy a car? What are some of the things you should think when you're buying a car? From your budget to brand, what are some of the things you should look at? Legal documents that you need to know. Just 5 headlines, maybe just 5 headlines. Under those 5 headlines, 5 or 6 bullet points. Title pay, write a nice title, a guide to buy a used car. Yeah, guide to buy a second-hand car, whatever you think, maybe. And at the underneath, just share your social media, your LinkedIn, your whatever, and share it on your WhatsApp groups. This will help. Now, some will read, some will not read. Anybody who needs it will read it, but they will recall again. Mohit has done something different. Jawad has done something different. Hussein will can write an ebook based on her technology knowledge that she has. And again, 5 or 6 pages, small, 5 or 6 bullet points, 5 headlines, 6 headlines is suffice. Now, if she writes an ebook, I don't remember exactly what your technology field is, Hussein, but for instance, if you're in cyber security, and if you say 5 key lessons for cyber security experts, or 5 key lessons from cyber security experts, you can do a bit of research, pick those things up, add your own thought process, your ebook is ready. You will stand out when you start expressing yourself. And by sharing ebook, writing ebooks, toolkits is one of the ways. So I developed a toolkit after giving a lot of thought as to if an individual needs to review a LinkedIn profile, audit a LinkedIn profile. Okay, I have my own way of auditing it. But if a common person who doesn't really have that knowledge, if he or she wants to review, kind of audit the LinkedIn profile, what could be the questions to ask? And I have developed a toolkit which is 85 questions. If you respond to those 85 questions, so I got someone from Pakistan, who's an engineer also, to put that into a spreadsheet. So it's a dashboard and you just respond. And once you've responded everything, dashboard creates, provides you the visuals of as to where you stand, or whether you need to optimize it or you're partially optimized or whatever. And it took me a couple of months to put it together. It took him some time, and the product is available. And I sell that product, by the way, for $39. The second thing I thought, okay, this is a paid product, but can I develop a free product also? So I used the same set of questions and I took out 18 questions and created a free tool. And that tool is available on my website. That free tool is the most downloaded tool so far. And a lot of people who download, or when somebody downloads it, that person leaves email address and phone number, and then only you can download it, which means I build my own email list for newsletters and staying connected with these people. But I'm just sharing it with you, the possibilities that you have. Once you are out there and be seen, and once people know that this is how they should be looking at things, they start recognizing you as leaders in your profession. So Mohit, if you develop a toolkit, 100 questions, 100 things to look in a car when you're buying a car, and that list is available. And that list is available on your website, for instance, for free download, or if somebody wants to kind of add something, spend some money, you add it, okay, I check. At the end of the list, it gives you a score for the car. If the score is above 75%, then you should buy the car. And always add a disclaimer, okay, this is just based on your experience, something of that sort. But think about it, you're helping people, these park wheel and all that people, they will be, you're going to stun them because, this is something extremely innovative. They're all on blogs, and on the blogs they have these things, they've got YouTube channels, and all that is bringing traffic. All that is building trust. For you three, this is a small assignment. Write your first ebook. And if you have any issue, if you think you need some help, you can drop me an email. Career Fellow Fellowship Live at gmail.com is the address. Drop an email. Jawad manages his email, but if he receives anything, I'll be happy to review it for you and give you an insight. Now, how do you do that? Think a topic, write the topic. I've given you the ideas. Then write all the subheadings that you want to kind of cover into that, like 5 or 6. Don't overwhelm yourself. This is your first ebook. Remember that. And underneath every subheading, start building it up. Bullet points, just bullet points. Okay, this is how to, why, kind of a thing. Why you need it. How do you do that? Very simple. Build it up. It's all there. And on Canva, create a document. Always, you can just simply cut and paste the content there. Keep it, easily readable, so that use the colors and the pictures or whatever you want to use. Something which is easy to read. And and always save it as a PDF. When you save it as a PDF, your ebook is ready. So I've made you authors today, and by the end of next week, I want to see ebook coming from all of you. Don't look at the perfection. There is nothing perfect in this world. We all are striving to be perfect, and we fail. Okay, so near perfection is what you need. Of course, spelling and a bit of grammar check and things. The key thing is you will build your brand, trust, and credibility if you start expressing your knowledge to people. Any questions?
I can just thank you. No questions.
Easy, right? If you know how to do it, it's very easy. Great. Question?
I'll give you tough time, honestly.
I'm all for it.
Yeah. Because I have already chalked out what to send you. I have something half cooked. I will cook it fully and will send an email for your review.
Great. Superb. Question?
No questions, just thanks. I think this is a really, it's a really good idea. And I'm going to try my best to at least, get a skeleton for my ebook and then actually start writing the whole thing. So, I mean, thank you for, planting this idea in my head.
Yeah, I
So
mean, I've
I
plenty of other ideas, by the way, but somehow you have to show the consistency also.
yes,
You all.
definitely,
Okay.
definitely.
Superb.
I hope I can, get this done.
I'm sure you will. I'm sure you will be able to do it. And it's just literally, I'm telling you, you have one whole week, but you can actually do it if you sit for 1 hour, concentrating on how I just told you to do it. You will do it in 1 hour. Okay.
Absolutely agreed.
And once you know how to do it, once you've experimented with it, you can go more complex. You can start writing more complex stuff. But you have to start from somewhere. Okay, कहते हैं ना बच्चा कभी भी फौरन तो चलना नहीं सीखता ना, बच्चा खड़ा होता है गिरता है. So those who are going to watch it in from countries where English is spoken, a little toddler, does not start running straight away. He or she gets up, fell down, and then slowly experience walking, and then start running. Jawad, all good?
Yes, all good. And I just also want to thank you. And these activities and these assignments are really helpful for us. And these are basically the practical implementation of the things which we are learning, like growth mindset or personal branding. So we will try our best to implement these things.
Super. So I'm going to stop recording now.